In today's video, I am sharing my real life postpartum experience using red light therapy. I'm sharing everything that I did not have this time as far as symptoms go. I'm gonna share 3 things that I didn't notice any difference this time versus any of my other 6 postpartum experiences. And then at the end of the video, I will share a little bit about the company we bought our red light from. This is not a sponsored post. We were not gifted this red light. We bought this on our own. I am so glad we did. Just to give you a reference point of where I'm coming from when I talk about my postpartum experience. I have had 7 children and they have all been born at the hospital without epidurals, no C-sections. If you are new to red light therapy, it was actually discovered by NASA, and what it does, it uses different wavelengths to get down underneath your skin and into your cells to open your mitochondria. And it's for pain relief, tissue repair, collagen production, circulation issues, inflammation, to promote healing. That is what it's used for. I was 3 days postpartum when I started using red light, and I would do it twice a day for the first couple weeks at least. The only physical sensation I could feel was like a tingling in my legs, and I think that was circulation. I got a lot of Charlie horses during the end of my pregnancies. So while I was doing red light, I could feel a tingling sensation in my legs, but that was the only physical sensation I could feel during red light use. And another thing I didn't notice until later on, looking back, was I never once had any kind of afterbirth pain. As when you nurse, you get your uterus contracts, and it's usually worse when you nurse a baby. It is also worse the more consecutive pregnancies you have had. And I didn't get anything. I did not have any uterus pain after I got home and used the red light therapy. Now, that in itself is pretty big. And if you've had more than 2 children, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a contraction that you don't know when's gonna stop, because it's just your body's way of getting your uterus back to size. Another thing I never had is I never had the night sweats. You can wake up in the middle of the night soaking wet. You need to change your pajamas. You need to wash your sheets. It's extreme night sweats, and I didn't have any of that. I'd have some sweats during the day, but nothing really heavy and nothing that woke me up with a pool of sweat at night. I felt way more energized when I used red light therapy. And there is a setting on my brand of red light, I don't know if it goes for all of them, but you can turn the blue light off, which is what they say not to use your phone before bed and TV and stuff, because it gives off that blue light that stimulates you. The red light I have, you can actually turn the blue light off. So I would definitely not use the blue light in the afternoon, but I would use it in the morning to kind of help wake me up. Because personally I am sensitive to blue light and caffeine in the afternoon, that it makes me stay up. So my energy was better, and I don't know if that transferred to him because he's been a pretty good sleeper for the most part, as I've had some really bad sleepers, some really good sleepers, and everything in between. With seven children, I've had all the sleep cycles, but he has slept much better this time. And I have to say that I nurse my children also, and having a good supply established and making sure they're full when they go to sleep kind of helps stretch those hours too. But I have to say that from pretty much the get-go, he's been a really pretty good sleeper, and I can only say that red light has benefited me and my energy, and maybe possibly his also. And then the other major one, which honestly, this might be just itself worth it to have a small red light if you do. Super big for me, is I have gotten mastitis. For the last 3 children, I've gotten mastitis, and every time I get it worse. And I've had it 4 times now, and the 3rd time I ended up going to urgent care. And to back up, I don't take Advil, I don't take ibuprofen for a headache. I I give birth without an epidural. I have a high pain tolerance, and I don't take medications unless I absolutely have to. But each time I've gotten mastitis, it has gotten worse and worse and worse. Excuse you, Mr. Man. The third time I got it, I ended up going to urgent care, almost to the hospital, because it comes on like that, and it gets really bad really fast. And I got it this time. If you haven't had mastitis, for the first day or so, it kind of feels like a block duck. So if you know if that feels like, it's like that, but then every day it gets worse. And then you start getting all red on one breast, and you can feel really flu-like. I got it this time, and I told my husband, oh, I think I kind of might have a block duck. And he's like, oh, he knows the things to make sure that I'm, massaging and nursing extra and stuff like that. But then the second day, I knew that it was turning into mastitis. And I was honestly worried, because I knew my escalation, that being the fourth time, I might end up in the hospital. And he reminded me, hey, you should go do red light. And when I was in the red light, I could not see any redness physically yet, but he said actually when I was under the blue light, my husband could actually see the outline of like the infection. And I did red light 2 or 3 times a day for about 4 days, and instead of getting worse, it started to taper off. So that in itself, the red light helping with mastitis, was a huge benefit. I'm so thankful that we had the red light, and he reminded me to make sure that I was doing it and really focusing on trying to take care of that infection. And for this to say, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional, so do your own research, but that was my real life experience. Having mastitis for the 4th time, I was able to heal it. And instead of escalating, it kind of healed up and tapered off. And I'm so thankful I had the red light, because I knew that could have ended up with me in the hospital. Okay, red light therapy. What did it not help with? It did not help with postpartum bleeding. My bleeding this time wasn't any different than any of my other postpartum experiences, so I can't say that it helps me with any bleeding. It has not helped with any kind of mom brain. I still have mom brain, and honestly, the only thing that helps me is a good quality prenatal multivitamin, and I have some gene mutations like MTHFR and some other things, so I get my multivitamin, my prenatal multivitamin, from Seeking Health. He has a lot of great information just in general on his website, and we actually found Seeking Health after I had recurrent miscarriages that my doctor couldn't figure out what was wrong. And we just dug and did some research, and my husband found Dr. Lynch, his information, and Seeking Health and the vitamins and things. So, hey baby. Another thing it did not help with any kind of weight loss. So our little guy is just 4 months old, and I still have just as much weight as I normally do at this point. I just know that my body grew a baby for 9 months, and I actually wasn't using red light for any kind of measurement of weight loss or anything like that, but I just wanted to mention it. It did not help. It has not helped with me dropping any more baby weight than any other time. The other thing that did not help, the hair loss. Like I said, I'm 4 months in, it's fallen out. It has not stopped, it has not slowed down, and I'm hoping it's gonna grow in way thicker. I have seen that red light can help with hair regrowth, but not much has grown back yet, so I can't say that it's helped in any way to have nice, thicker hair. So we shall see. My husband is a huge researcher, so he finally decided to go with the company called PlantinumLED for our red lights. And we did have to contact PlantinumLED twice, and both times the customer service was great. The one time they called us back within like 20 minutes, and the other time I emailed and got a response within 24 hours. So their customer service, in our experience, has been really great. The shipping took a little bit longer than we expected, and the tracking didn't necessarily update, but it all came well and good, and we put it together. We have a stand that you can stand it up, which is how it is right now, and there's a way that you can move it horizontal and slide under, you can just lay and do your red light therapy there. The timer goes up to 20 minutes, but you can put however many minutes you want on there. And although we did not buy this for postpartum specifically, I am so glad we did. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have any follow-up questions, leave them in the comment section. I will make sure to reply, and then if you're watching this, make sure you're checking the comments too to find out more information. And if you want a link to PlantinumLED, the company we actually used, although they are not sponsored or endorsing this video at all, I do have an affiliate code in the description. And I'll see you later.